All right, it's 2:47 p.m. I'm obviously not going to make it back by 3 o'clock. I really have no sense of time when I'm working on stuff, and I grossly underestimated how long it would take me to, I can't even really say clean out the car, but to clean out the stuff I cleaned out of the car. I can look in my rear view mirror and see behind myself now. So that's mission accomplished there. Now I'm not able to see the full view I should have of my rear view mirror because of how my broken sun visor hangs. It blocks a certain portion of it. So I really need to get that fixed. I just don't see where an extra $80 is going to come from to replace it, and that's how much a replacement is. Maybe I could put it up against the roof with duct tape. But yeah, it does suck that the way it hangs, it obstructs half my rear view mirror. So I have to move my head to see what's behind me. All these little things in this car just really are, and it's poor people problems. You know, if I wasn't so poor, I would have no trouble with this. But jobs that are willing to hire me don't pay enough for me to take care of all the things I need to take care of. And I'm not looking to have a really high standard of living. I don't feel the need to have a brand new car. I don't feel the need to have a brand new phone. I'd just be happy to have enough money to fix the screen on my old iPhone 6s Plus and to fix all the little things that are breaking down and insure my old 2006 Saturn Icon. That's all I'd like to have enough to do. And of course, you know, pay my rent and keep eating. I've got a lot of recycling in the car, and that's kind of a problem right now. So I, generally speaking, keep my recycling in my big storage unit and crush it down and stuff there. And of course, this is the time of year. Actually, normally we'd be a month into the time of year where it had ended, but for some reason, summer weather is persisting all the way until the end of October, and it's like 100 degrees out today. And I'm sweating like crazy. Wow, 3 Waymos all in a row right there. That was kind of neat. I couldn't see if they were driving themselves or if they had somebody at the wheel. That's always the thing I wonder when I look at a Waymo, is if it's a human driver or if it's driving itself. Speaking of which, sometimes I try to talk about how I perceive things differently than other people perceive things, being on the autism spectrum. And one of those things that I'm finding is that other people can see in windows and I can't. And I've become really keenly aware of this since I've been working at Hertz, particularly talking with Andre, because he's often talking about, oh, did you see her? Did you see her? And he gestures over and he looks, and I don't see anybody. I just see a vehicle. And I see the reflections on the glass, or, you know, whatever dirt or whatever is on the glass. I don't see through that. And I guess other people do. Now, when I'm in a car, I can see out, but I mean, sometimes if the windows are dirty, it's a struggle for me. Or if there's too much reflection on the glass when I'm driving, it's a struggle for me. But I absolutely, with little exception, can't see. I have to really take a lot of effort to focus to see beyond windows in vehicles. And there was a reason I was mentioning this, relevant to right now and what it is. I guess it wasn't that important. It's really bothering me that I can't remember what that was right now. The reason I was mentioning that. It has something to do with driving and safe driving. And I guess sometimes like people will gesture, but I don't see it. And I've read things where they're talking about vehicle safety and pedestrian motorist safety, or they're talking about, you know, eye contact with other drivers. You know, not only am I not making eye contact with other drivers, most of the time I can't even see them. I just see the windows and the reflections on the windows. I drivers in vehicles. So, oh yeah, so the Waymos, like I can't tell when I look at one unless I'm able to get right on it. I can't tell if there's a driver in there or not. I can't tell if there's a passenger in there or not. Now, looking to the right, as that Tesla passed me, I was able to see that there was a driver and there was somebody in the back seat. But from right here, I can't see that. I just see reflections in the glass. And it seems like neurotypical people have no problem tuning out the reflections in the glass to see what's on the other side, or alternatively tuning out reflections on monitor screens and seeing what's on the screen. That was a big problem for me when I worked over at Domino's Pizza. Remember Domino's Pizza? Coworkers got really frustrated with me because I couldn't operate the register, but I couldn't see what was on the screen. All I could see was a reflection of myself and the reflection of the back of the restaurant when I looked at the screen. I couldn't see the contents of the screen. Everybody else seemed to be able to see it. Like I could kind of see it, but I couldn't see it enough to operate it. It just frustrates me how neurotypicals just assume everybody sees the world the way they do and make no accommodations for those that don't, and get frustrated with those that don't, and even go as far as to not believe when people like myself explain what our reality is and how we experience the world and how we see the world. And I'll be honest, a lot of my driving and stuff, especially in places like this, oh look at that, a Kia EV6, very nice. A lot of it is just because I'm really good at memorization of stuff past a point. Like I have trouble remembering specific things. My short-term memory is really bad, but my long-term memory, once I'm interested in something and I memorize it, I seem to memorize with a lot more detail and depth than most people do. But like I could probably draw all the lanes and overpasses and everything, including the details like signs and the street lights and stuff of the roads going through this airport. And a lot of times I just go through, I'm navigating through route memorization. I'm not really looking at that stuff because it's in my head. I'm just having to see the vehicles. And I'm noticing this vehicle in front of me with its hazard lights on. I don't know what that's about. And I just saw somebody slip from this lane into the left lane, and I bet that's not the lane he wants to be in. I bet he's going to cut off some. Oh, no, he wants, well. Oh, no, he cut to the right. He went to the left lane just to cut somebody off in the right. Yeah, there's a lot of that happens right here. Because the lane to the left used to be to go to Terminal 2 or back to Terminal 2, and now it just goes nowhere. So you got this Sky Harbor Boulevard widens out to 4 lanes, people drift into those left lanes, but only the 2 lanes go through. And I don't feel like those extra lanes help at this point. I think they're a hindrance because people think they can use it and then they go into it, and then at the last second they cram into the other lanes. Of course, I've missed this turn more than a couple times, so I know where it is, just sometimes I get focused on other stuff. It's kind of interesting looking at this overhead or looking at this on a map, because the piece of Sky Harbor Boulevard that I was driving on is in perfect alignment with the piece of with Buckeye Road, which I'm rejoining right here, which is also in perfect alignment with the loop 202 further to the east of here. Once it gets to like what you call it, Priest Drive. Sorry, I'm so out of focus today. I'm having a very autistic kind of day, and hopefully I can get into work and I can eat for free, and that'll help. Being able to eat always helps me focus, but I've often lacked the focus to remember to eat. Oh, and my stuff, my hat, my vest and stuff. Yeah, I did. I remember gathering it up because a lot of times I leave it in the car, but I wore it home and wore it inside because I forgot to take it off in the car like I usually do. And when I do that, I always put it on the chair by my desk, which of course I can't sit in because it's just full of stuff. But I always put it on top there, and then when I get dressed, I usually put it on. But I didn't put it on because I was going to the clinic first. But I gathered it up, and it didn't make it all the way to the car. It made it on top of the half a case of bottled water, which is sitting on top of my washing machine from my last trip to Costco. I was going to finish the story of what happened at the clinic. Maybe I can do that. I got about a 3/4 of a mile to go. And I know there's going to be a delay trying to get around those fucking car carriers that Avis leaves blocking the road there, blocking the cul-de-sac. So, wow, it's interesting backup in this left lane, but I don't dare go into the right lane and not be able to make it into the left lane. So, anyway, I googled the location of the clinic, found out that it's over near Metro Center, on a street where there's no bus route, by the way. Now, it blows my mind that mental health clinics can even be located on streets that don't have bus routes. Like that alone should be some kind of there should be a law against that. Because most people that are SMI, I'm a unique exception that I'm capable of driving and that I have a vehicle to drive. The vast majority of people who are at SMI aren't capable of driving even if they had the means to get a vehicle to drive because of their mental health issues. I'm very unusual that somebody with schizoaffective disorder drives as well as I do, and it's also very unusual that somebody with autism spectrum disorder drives as well as I do. But for some reason, that's just something that's always fascinated me, and I've done well with it. And a lot of it has to do with how I've memorized roads. By the way, Obama Phone 5, the screen is getting very busted up. I cracked it last Thursday, pretty bad, like the cracks here and there and down, and then all this additional cracking and smashing here. That happened today, like just within the last hour or so, half hour or so. I didn't think that there was even real glass on that screen. I thought it was all plastic. So I'm kind of shocked that it happened. Still seems to be working as crappy as ever, so it's not any worse for the cracks in the screen. But yeah, the top is kind of scratchy. I know it's going to start coming apart. And I'm sure there's no point in buying replacement parts for that. I'm sure nobody makes replacement parts for that. No, this is what it is. It's time to get myself another Obama phone. But they've really loosened up on the data that they let me use for the Wi-Fi hotspot. So I've been kind of like not wanting to rock that boat with Insurance Wireless. So I keep trying to say the story of what happened at the clinic, and I keep distracted from it. So anyway, I came to the conclusion that I figured out where the clinic is, and it's ridiculously far away. And I'm waiting, and I guess I did well. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? So they didn't let the car carriers into Avis, but rather they sat here where they're illegally parked and in the way and unloaded all the fucking vehicles here, and they're in the process of driving them into Avis. Avis is fucking ridiculous. I mean, don't get me wrong, Hertz is ridiculous as well. I mean, you're on YouTube, do a search for Hertz police fiasco. I don't need to be the one bad-mouthing Hertz. Hertz does it to themselves. But Avis and their obstructing of the road is wearing on my last nerve. Oh, yeah, and I can't get a good parking spot. Oh, yeah, I can. Oh, wow, I didn't know it was a ridiculous killing machine. Dodge Ram truck. Oh, hello. I didn't expect that to go forward because I can't see through windows, and I didn't realize there was somebody in it. I just thought it was parked. On the bright side, I'm able to park closer. It's this red truck on the right that belongs to Poindexter. I can't remember his real name, so I'm just going to keep calling him Poindexter when I'm talking to myself. The big white Ram on the left, I think that belongs to Barry, the shop manager. I get along great with Barry. A lot of people don't like Barry, but I get along fabulous with Barry. All right, it's 3:02. I'm pretty much the time I'm supposed to be here. So long story short, because I really got to get this stupid story out about what happened at the clinic. Yeah, I realized after I looked up that A, it's too far, and B, I needed to go to work. I didn't have time to stick around to see my case manager since she was taking so damn long to come out. And I got there at like 5 after, or maybe 10 after 2, or I'm sorry, 10 after 1. So why is it at 20 till 2 I'm still waiting to see my case manager? It shouldn't take that long to see a case manager at a mental health clinic. It just shouldn't. It absolutely shouldn't. Oh, look at those bolts right ahead of me. They're probably all there for TNC, but I've never seen bolts used for TNC. That's a new thing. And I still haven't figured out exactly what TNC stands for, but I know it's a program for third parties to rent cars that are Hertz cars to rideshare drivers. So they're basically rideshare vehicles that are designated for people to use as rideshare vehicles. Because God knows if you rent it directly from Hertz as a normal person, you wouldn't be able to make any money at rideshare because the regular car rental rates from Hertz are way too pricey to make a profit at that. But obviously they have some kind of deal worked out with these third parties that operate the TNC vehicles. But I've never seen I do see a lot of Tesla Model 3s designated as TNC vehicles. And lately I've been seeing some Kia EV6s and Niros also designated as TNC vehicles. But this is the first time I've seen Chevy Bolts apparently designated as TNC vehicles. Although I'm not sure if they are. I have to go look at them, see what's written on the window. But that's the area generally. Generally, if a car's sitting where those bolts are sitting, it's TNC. So anyway, I walked up to the gal in the window who's fucking gorgeous. I forget her name, but she was there for quite a while and I haven't seen her in quite a while. She's stunningly gorgeous. Young, way young. And very nice and helpful. I mean, for much as she can. She can't fix the situation with the case managers that don't come out and you wait and wait and wait. I mean, she just puts the information in and relays the message. So I'm not shooting the messenger. Love the messenger. So I told her, it's like, well, that's going to be a transportation problem. That's too far. I can't get there. And she goes, well, we can work out transportation. And when they say we can work out transportation, basically it's arranging rides through a service like Veyo. I think there's a couple other ones that they use. And those services are not reliable. They're not timely. It's a recipe for me getting to work on time late. I just don't see this working out like they want it to work out. Anyway, I sent a text message to the public defender that is representing me in the mental health court, and then I told the cute woman at the desk at the clinic that, yeah, well, I can't wait any longer. I have to get to work, so have my case manager call me. And I don't think she's called me yet. So that's where I'm at now. Anyway, I got to get my ass into work. It's already after 3. I'm not too worried about it, though. I'm going to start taking pictures of my 3:06. I'm going to start taking pictures of my handwritten time clock. That way I know how much time I'm using. Because I did try to log into the PO Please, or open the PO Please app to see if I could check my hours on that, and it's logged me out, and I don't know what my login is. I wasn't even prepared to start dealing with trying to recover that login. Recovering logins is always super difficult for me. So, but I should be able to track it just by taking pictures of my handwritten clock, time sheets. I should be all right. They love me at this job. Hey, look, there's Andre right there, parking a TNC car, and he actually put the purple hat on it. I'm assuming Collie is driving a Shag right behind him. Collie's the old guy I mentioned that just kind of feels like he's not there. But nice guy. Just he kind of feels like an NPC. Not the slang that's being used for, on the internet NPC, but an actual NPC that just has nothing to say. It just kind of exists. I'm not trying to hate on Collie. I like Collie. I just couldn't say anything about him because he just doesn't seem to. Some kind of weird breakout on my hand. I hope that's not a big deal. It doesn't look good. Anyway, I'm gonna get in. It's getting super hot in here. So I left. Yeah. So that's it. I don't have anything more to say. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching.